So let's talk about the carnivore diet. We have so many people across the United States that suffer from autoimmune conditions. The carnivore diet is one of the primary diets that can help with these particular conditions. Rheumatoid arthritis, MS, fibromyalgia, chronic lupus, any of these conditions can be worsened by intestinal permeability. Leaky gut, you know, Dr. Shawn Baker talked about, come on Paige, let's go. Dr. Shawn Baker talked about how Human Performance Outliers did a interview with a doctor that used polyethylene glycol to administer and test for gut permeability, and almost immediately they could see changes as soon as they went back to meat-based diets and cut, you know, a lot of the vegetables and things like that can cause more inflammation and stuff in the gut. So what is the carnivore diet? You know, some people like to do this in phases. Really, the carnivorous diet is just basically eating animal products. That's it. That's what it comes down to. A lot of people make exceptions for tea and coffee. That's not really carnivore. It comes from plant-based, but they make exceptions for it, and they seem to do okay. And then when they cut it out, they seem to do even better. So what will you eat on a carnivore diet? Your primary source, in my opinion, should be fatty beef. Roast, any kind of chuck, any kind of steaks. Adding in organ meat can help, but I didn't eat a lot of organ meat when I was on a carnivorous diet. My lab panel still checked out perfectly fine. My triglycerides went from 114 standard American diet. Then I went keto and they went down to like 70. And then when I went carnivore, my triglycerides got even lower, went down to 52, which is awesome. My HDL on keto was 52. On carnivore, it bumped up to 60. My LDL went from 118 on keto down to 108 on carnivore. I'm an athlete in the perspective of amateur, doing, you know, I lift weights. I do a lot of jogging and stuff like that, or I did. I've been slowing down a lot lately because my knees from, you know, being the injury in Iraq are starting to flare up again, but I'm starting to tighten up my nutrition and get back to more meat-based, and now it's starting to feel better. So even in my best shape when I was in the military, my LDL was never in check. It was always between, you know, 95 and 115, somewhere in there. So I can honestly say that the carnivore diet benefits me the best. I didn't add a lot of organ meats in, but some people will put brain and tongue, kidney, liver, and you might have to go to specialty butchers to get this kind of stuff. You're not just going to find it all over the place. Plenty of salt. Now, some people make exceptions for seasonings, but seasonings can cause this to act up as well. If you're going to use seasonings, make sure you're using very, very clean ones, but I would suggest trying without it at first. Salt, water, butter, meat, and organs. And this is simply what I did in the beginning. That's what I was the most successful on. And then slowly I added some other things in, different types of seasoning, and I tried to see if they affected me. Some did and some didn't. So we have that. Eventually, about 6 months ago, I went off coffee completely, so I don't drink any coffee, no tea, no nothing. So I just don't have the need for it anymore, and my energy level stayed up. So what I find is that I don't really need organs when I do carnivore, but there are some people that do need organs. One of the most bioavailable vitamins that you'll find in animal products that you won't find in plants is retinol, vitamin A. So that's important as well. A lot of people ask about vitamin C. Well, how am I going to get my vitamin C in? You don't really need to worry about vitamin C. When your gut transporters have a constant compete with glucose, when you're on keto or you're on even worse standard American, I'm not trying to take away from keto at all. It helped me heal, and that's what I lost my first 100 pounds on. Is your transporters don't have to fight with glucose anymore. Now it can take trace vitamin C that's found in the meat, or even more than trace. Like if you eat liver and stuff like that, you might find 10 to 15% of your daily vitamin C nutritional intake comes from liver alone. So just one serving. And whenever your body doesn't have to fight with sugar anymore, you can take trace vitamin C just fine, and your standard recommendations go down. So, you know, you might find vitamin D and iron and calcium and phosphorus and stuff in different types of seafoods and things like that. Oysters, that's all acceptable. Crab meat's acceptable. Fish especially is acceptable. Grass-fed butters are important because it has, it can help your body can use grass-fed butters to make certain short-chain fatty acids that you can't just on regular butter. It's got higher like omega, vitamin K count, stuff like that. So making sure that you're using good quality grass-fed butter like Kerrygold butter or Finlandia butter, something like that. From Finlandia is only $3.99 for 4 sticks at Sam's Club, so it's perfect. I get my Finlandia grass-fed butter from Sam's Club and it tastes amazing. Kerrygold, it's a little bit more expensive per unit. It's still good, but I tend to shop the better deals. That's just what I'm about. I like to simplify my life. Just drinking plenty of water, getting plenty of salt, eating plenty of meat until full. Now, some people ask about scheduled eating on carnivore. You know, am I going to be in ketosis? Yeah, you're probably going to be in ketosis most of the time, but it's not. Carnivores don't chase ketones, for one, and number two, your ketone levels probably are not going to be as high. That's just what carnivores experience. It's just part of the madness here. So, scheduled. Some people start with 3 meals a day and they just eat till full. They don't worry about poundage. But if I had to give you a poundage per day, most females need about 1.5 pounds plus per day. Most males start at 2 pounds per day. And most people find that their ranges are right in between, like for females, 1.5 pounds to almost 3.5 pounds. And males are 2 pounds to 4 pounds. It's somewhere right in that window. So, in the comment box below, in the description box below, I'm going to leave a link to Shawn Baker's video with human performance outliers, and I'm going to let you guys click on that so you can watch his explanation on carnivore and autoimmune condition, and then some of the things that he talked about with using polyethylene glycol to test for gut permeability. And I think that's pretty much it. I've covered the basis of it. It's not too much with carnivore. Carnivore's pretty simple overall, and it's not hard to get it down. And then, you might start with breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but then you'll need to turn around and do just lunch and dinner. And then eventually people get to where they're just doing 1 meal a day, and they love it. They feel fabulous. 70% of the people that I know, maybe even a little bit more, do 2 meals a day. About 20 to 30% do one meal a day, and there's very rarely do I see anybody do 3 meals a day on carnivore. It's just so satiating and makes you feel so full that all that healthy fat, all the good protein sources that you're getting in general simply controls your appetite the best. So I hope you found some benefit from this video. I'm doing a series, and I'm linking them all under the Ultimate Keto Guide, because carnivore, you're in ketosis, and it's a very, very good healing factor for leaky gut and autoimmune conditions, as well as depression, anxiety, PTSD, all these different types of mental conditions as well, type 2 diabetes. It's wonderful for all that. So again, in the comment section below, I'll leave you guys a couple articles and my private keto group and my public keto page so we can talk there as well. I appreciate y'all. God bless. Have a great weekend.